down, girl, and talk to me. Tell me what's on your mind. Don't keep on telling me everything's okay. 'Cause if it was, then you wouldn't be crying. You've been tossing and turning in your sleep lately. Sitting around pouting all day long. Now how in the hell you expect me to understand when I don't even know what's wrong? Let's straighten it out.
Hey, Lynn.
Let's straighten it out. Let's straighten it out. Baby, let's straighten it out.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for joining me. So tonight, we are talking about being in a sexless marriage. Hey, Lloyd. But first, as always, I do not own the rights to this music, and anything that I say is for entertainment purposes only, because I might say some of anything. All right. So, like I said, let's get into this. So my friend asked me to do this show, saying he is in a sexless marriage where one spouse is so angry at the other that they lose their sex drive. The anger is so intense that the other person doesn't want to or can't get in the mood to even be with that person. And the lust and desire is gone when one spouse pisses the other off so much that it knocks the lust and the desire out of them. And there are varying definitions of a sexless marriage or a sexless relationship. So no sex in the past year, no sex in the past 6 months, or sex 10 or fewer times a year. And according to one study, it said that 15% of married couples are sexless. Spouses haven't had sex with each other in the past 6 months to a year. But even if there is no perfect definition for a sexless marriage, everyone seems to agree that they're common. And an article in Newsweek estimates that about 20% of couples are in a sexless marriage. It is more common than you think. Okay. So, I mean, if a couple is content with intimacy less than once a month and happily married, they don't refer to themselves as having a sexless marriage. And a lot of people, for whatever reasons, are in sexless marriages, and they are okay with that. They call them companion relationships, someone to travel with, someone to go out to dinner with, just to have somebody and to be next to somebody sometimes. So, the companion relationships is you're married and you just don't have sex, like I said, for whatever reason, and it works for some people. What leads to a sexless marriage? Well, in my friend's case, a new job that takes him away from home a lot, or when he is home, his energy is drained and he's so tired all the time. Or health issues, where you're on so many medications that you don't want sex. And some side effects of medication mess with your sex drive, and that also messes with your ability to obtain an erection. Or for a woman, some medicines make them dry down there. And age also plays a factor in a lot of things. Sometimes older couples are in a sexless relationship, but they are happy. Okay. the other person nagging you because you're not having sex, and not nicely. They complain intently, which leads to a lack of desire. But no sex, a lack of desire in him and no sex for her is an issue. So much so that he wants her to get a boyfriend. There are other reasons they aren't having sex. The sex being painful and being more than fun, being more work than fun. Okay, limited positions because of muscle spasms and cramps, and you would think that other sex acts would be a better fit. Well, no, because according to him, oral sex is a joke for the wife. She doesn't give him oral sex, and for him, some of his medical conditions prevent him from doing it, but he does try. So since he is willing to try, for him, I suggest that maybe she straddle him while he lays on his back, and maybe that can alleviate some of his health issues like sinus and neck pain for him. And for her, I suggest she figure out a way to give him some of that. To give him some of that as well, because it seems like they still want each other. They're just not coming together, and the pun was intended, okay? Maybe a sex swing could help out. Right now, maybe a sex swing could help. Therefore, she's suspended in air, and he's not. The weight is not on him. They have sex pillows that may alleviate the strain on the body. A trip to the toy store or a website may give them some ideas. They have things that will be of interest for everybody. And maybe just trying new things can be a good time, just trying to figure it out. That way they can try and make it work, okay? Other issues can create problems in your sex life as well. Past sexual traumas can bring up painful memories. For my friend, trying to talk about their problems causes an argument. He still loves her. He doesn't want to get a divorce, but this is too much for him to deal with, which is another thing that makes sex so difficult for them. And sometimes in relationships, people pick up not so good habits as substitutes, or to try to ease the pain or occupy their mind of not having sex, okay? Or to compensate for an unhappy life. Some people shop, leading to overspending and credit card debt. Some people overeat. Hey, Ernie, overeat, leading to weight gain. Some people drink, leading to alcoholism. And some people turn, Renell says, what if he has ED? Yes, I am going to get to that. But that too is a problem. And some of the medications that people are on can cause erectile dysfunction. Okay. Some people drink, leading to alcoholism. And some people turn, excuse me. Excuse me. So I'm sorry. Some people turn to gambling, which leads to debt. I have one friend, when his wife used to turn him away, he would go to the casino and blow his whole paycheck, which led to an insurmountable amount of debt. But his situation had more issues than just lack of sex. But that is what started it. She wouldn't cook for him. She didn't want him to be in the house when her kids were there, just all kinds of stuff. And therefore a lack of sex, like I said, is what started it. And then he had an affair, and eventually they divorced. But in that case, she didn't want to be with him anyway. Okay. Because she treated him really bad, and he had no place to go but the casino. That was the only thing that was open. It started out going to get a beer and to just sit down and get something to eat, because his wife wouldn't fix him anything to eat. And eventually you're there, you hear the ting, ting, ting of the slot machines and the crap table, and he started gambling. And, he, to this day, may still be in a lot of debt. And that was a long time ago that he was married to her. Okay. So a lack of intimacy should be taken seriously. While sex does not define or keep a marriage together, it can cause other relationship issues. Hey, Kalita, it can cause other relationships issues related to anger, isolation, infidelity, and those could end in divorce. Like I said, even though my friend does not want a divorce because he does still love her, he said it's just so much to deal with. Saying sex is complicated when you are afraid of getting hurt physically, and feeling disrespectful and wanting everything, especially with a person who makes you and leaves you more frustrated after having sex. So she is the one that wants the sex, but she doesn't make it pleasant when doing sex, which is a turnoff for him. And he has tried to talk to her about it, but he got so frustrated that he literally started shaking. And he wants her to get her needs met, so much so that he feels it would be better if she got a boyfriend. And he has repeatedly told her so. And they have older children, and the children, I guess, piecing together their conversations and the situation at home, and I guess the anger that I'm sure the children feel. They're teenagers, they're not stupid. It is affecting them as well. They hear the conversations. They feel their mother does need to have sex. Maybe she'll calm down some. I guess the anger spills over into the children. I don't know. A marriage does need intimacy to survive. Though there are many types of intimacy, emotional and physical intimacy go hand in hand. Hey, Kat. Meaning that if a marriage is lacking emotional intimacy, it's likely to also lack physical intimacy as well. And I think that if they start with emotional intimacy, talking, getting to know each other, maybe not necessarily having sex, but cuddling and kissing, and I think they can rekindle the sexy time. But they must want to, and they must be willing. They must be kind to one another, because nobody wants to do it with someone who is mean to them. Nothing in a relationship, and they must understand that nothing in a relationship ever gets better on its own. You have to work on it. Attempting to rekindle the magic, you need to step it up. Just, going to bed naked or trying to schedule date night sex, that stuff don't always work. Renell says, I've met a few guys that was having problems because, he told me he was taking water pills or diabetic pills, etc. That's why they couldn't, I'll say, get a hard on. Exactly. High blood pressure pills, I know, work with that. But, like I said, y'all, and I'm going to get to that, you need to step up your try to get with your spouse game. You can't just show up naked or say, hey, we're going to have sex on Monday night at 10 o'clock. That's not sexy, and that's not romantic. Those type of things do not always work. You have to get to the root of the problem, not gloss over it, because there is no quick fix. Like I said, the sex drive can be affected by a number of things, including depression, medication, stress, health, affairs, previous sexual trauma, pornography, pain with sex and relationship dissatisfaction, and having sex. Vanessa says, I'll take it. Having sex while not being happy is common. And erectile dysfunction, like Raynell said, is a factor for some men, especially over the age of 40. Low testosterone levels could be a problem also. And y'all know I always say diet and exercise, that's what keeps that thing hard. And it also helps that kitty get wet. And exercise stimulates the same part of the brain that sex does. And, sometimes there could very well be some underlying health issues that people don't know about. Vanessa says, yes, that is so true. So maybe after a checkup, they can try working out together. Something easy, a walk, that gets the adrenaline pumping, that gets the dopamine going. And, you can talk. Maybe, it's just getting out there and trying. And I want women to know that if they are on the wanting end for sex, they are not alone. I know several couples that are in a sexless relationship for various reasons. And if you love the person you're with, then you should talk about it. And the sooner you speak up, the better. it'll be. If things are not changing in the way you want, you may need help from, say, a couples counselor, a sex therapist, a clinical psychologist, or a medical doctor, depending on the situation. And first and foremost, open and honest communication is the key. But when one person doesn't want to discuss it, that is a problem. So I could see how that would cause my friends frustration, okay? Waiting until months or even years have passed. I mean, he told me that their relationship has deteriorated over a 3-year period. That's a long time. And time can weaponize the bedroom. You know, it can make it a war zone as opposed to a love zone. And that's what it should be. You know, it will add so much more complexity if you're mad all the time, because resentment compounds sexual frustrations, and relationships are already complex, and there are no easy answers. It's not good to go that long without figuring things out. You like what you like, but if you don't speak up about what you want, you can't expect the other person to know. Sometimes the problem is simply that people don't know how to talk about the sex that they want to be having or need to be having, you know. Like he said, you know, there's pain and all kind of issues, but, you know, some homework where you can figure that out can maybe make things better for you. And our society seems almost built on the idea that all men want sex all the time. So it would be hard for a man to admit that he ain't not wanting to have sex, you know. Renelle says, what can you do if your partner can't perform anymore? Spicing up the performance is okay, but remember, he can't perform, so it's wasting time. Now, this is my sister, y'all, and I don't really want to be telling my little sister about how to have sex, but I'm glad it's not my daughter, all right? Let's say that. So there are other things that you could be doing. There's oral sex that he could perform on you. There are sexual aids that you all can buy and he can use on you. And if he's not willing to do that, because if he has a problem, if his medication is causing him to not be able to get a hard on and he's not willing to work on that, then that's another issue within itself. But if he's willing to work on it, then those are things that you could try. There's always a way. And that person being your significant other or your spouse should not say, well, I can't, so we ain't. That's not how it's going to go. There are other things that you can do and utilize in those type of situations. I know one person, I think it was 10 or 12 years, and her spouse wasn't having sex, and she wanted to have sex, but he wasn't even willing to entertain the idea of doing anything else in order to give her sex satisfaction. And my friend here in this situation, he is willing, but again, like I said, if the person is so angry towards you, why would you want to be having sex with them anyway? So, you know, I feel him and his frustration. So, like I said, it's hard for men to admit to not wanting sex for whatever reason. But if you don't want to, you don't want to, you know, and, you should be true to yourself, because the most damaging lies are the ones we tell ourselves. So my friend says that any conversation about their issues leads to an argument, and not having sex keeps him psychologically and physically neutral. And he's working on fixing his issues, but every time there's a failure with the things that are going on, it leads to many steps backwards. So he's you know, not willing to try. And I understand that, because if his efforts are met with anger and not appreciated, I can understand how he would say, why should I even continue to try to do this? And, you know, no sex for her is a big issue. But again, she is not pleasant and he don't really want to touch her. And I can kind of understand that, you know. That's hard. You love this person. You don't want a divorce from this person, but this person isn't listening to the things you are saying or the things you are telling them, or they are not receptive to when you try to do what they say they want you to do. So, leaving it at that, you know, I hope it helps him. But or anybody that has these type of problems, like I said, you're not alone. A lot of people are in sexless marriage. That's the one thing, you're not alone. And two, it can be fixed if you want it to be fixed, Like I said, go to the store, look online. Sometimes people get frustrated because they want something more in the bedroom, but they don't tell the person. Linda says, could it be that she has fallen out of love with him? I mean, she wants to have sex with him, so mean or not, she still wants to try, and he has given her permission to go get a boyfriend. So, and she hasn't. So I don't know. They need to communicate. And honestly, if you love me and I love you and you're willing to put the work in, I think it can be fixed. But both parties have to be willing to put the work in. I can't fix it by myself. And like he says, every time he tries to appease her, it leads to a bigger failure, or, so, and that takes them, sets them back some steps. And, if you want to fix it, you have to put the work in. And anything that you want something out of, you got to put something into. And that's the bottom line, and that's the reality of life. If you're going to work it out with that person, then work it out. Get in there and fight it out, hash it out, figure it out. But I think he wants to fix this, and I think she wants to fix this. So, you can see his frustration because, he came to me to do this. Are there any other underlying problems? Well, you was late, Kathy. So no, you were, but yes, medication, physical pain when trying to have sex, and so, like I said, a sex swing could alleviate that, perhaps. If you're going to use toys, but now tell me, oral sex is good, but you still want intercourse because now you need the satisfaction. Oral is only half the battle. Intercourse is the home run. So therefore, then they have toys for that. That's a penis-shaped toy, and I think that may do it. That may help you out. But honestly, like I say always, if your significant other has health issues, diet and exercise will take care of it. And you can get off of that medication, because I believe high blood pressure pills keeps a man from having an erection, or a full erection. So if that person was to not drink, not smoke, eat right, work out in a matter of 3 months, that issue would be gone. It would be cleared up. If the doctor says you can work out, because you should go to the doctor and get checked out first and tell them, hey, I want to start a new regimen. I want to work out and, maybe take some walks. And it don't have to be strenuous. It does not have to be strenuous to get the benefits. In about 6 to 8 weeks, you should start feeling better. In about 6 months, all that medication will be gone and that hard-on will come back. Okay? You can heal yourself with just doing simple everyday things, So that may be something to look at. Is the pain his or, okay. Stop drinking alcohol like it's water. Maybe it'll help. Exactly. Is the pain his or hers? I believe both, Kathy. I believe both have pain. He has pain from, working too much. And, honestly, let me tell you, if your man out here working and he trying to provide for you and he's got a new position and he's working hard and has to work overtime, hey, Classy, and he has to work overtime, a little comfort and sensitivity will help your situation. Even though she wants him, you can't force him. And if you're being mean to him, he don't want you. And nobody wants anybody that's mean to them. I'm sorry. My ex-husband used to be really mean to me and then thought we were going to have sex. We are not going to have sex. You just cussed me out, called me everything but a child of God. I'm sorry. I am not in the mood for sex. It just doesn't work like that. Okay. And you know, your man is tired. If he comes home, you cook him some food, you run him some bath water, you rub his back, and he may want to have some sex. I mean, it works both ways. Classy says, absolutely true. You know, it works both ways, ladies. We want to be treated a certain kind of way. Men want to be treated a certain kind of way, too. They have feelings. They have backs. They have parts that ache. They want to be rubbed and loved and cuddled. You know, they're human. They want the same thing that you want. You know, and then you could get what you want. I'm just saying. And again, diet and exercise will make that thing get hard and will make that kitty stay wet. That's it. Those, if you start there and work it out, you know, if you're physically able to exercise. So some people have other issues that they can't exercise. And so, you know, it may be, I'm not going to say too late, but it may be too much damage done that it just can't be repaired with that. Hey, Kathy, you get what you give. Exactly. You know, like I said, they could go to the store. Hey, Joanne, they can go to the store and or online, and there are all kinds of sexual aids that they can figure out. And again, I say, just by trying new stuff, that alone may be fun, you know, just trying something new. And I think if they slow down and reconnect with one another and stop being so mean to one another, you know, it may get them back on the right track. And a lot of times as people, we are so angry. We are so mad at the situation that we don't give our own spouse, somebody that you took vows with, we don't give them a chance to try. And then when they try and it doesn't meet your expectations, you shoot them down. And I don't think we should do that as people. And a lot of times people think, oh, men always, like I said, they say men always want to have sex. No, they don't. Not if you're mistreating them. You know, you're not doing anything pleasing for them. You know, they can't get a nice hello. You know, I know I've been mean to some people. It's like, what you want? You know, but sometimes that's just how we act, and we expect them to love that. And that goes for anybody. If you treat somebody bad, they will respond bad, and you get what you give. That's the bottom line. If you keep that in mind, you get what you give. So, like I said, if they want to fix it, I think they can. You know, they can work it out. Renelle says, I'm going to call 1-900-MIX-A-LOT. I don't know what that is. I think I should know, but I don't know. All right. Maybe they could take my book, A Ain't Always for Apple, and go through the alphabet and maybe do what it says for all the letters. Like A is for ass. Smack that ass a couple of times a day. That might spice things up, you know, and it couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt nothing. The book is available on Amazon. Use it to spice things up, and also use it to learn how to read. All right. So that is going to do it for me. Again, I say I really didn't like talking about sex. Okay, Kaisha gets it. I'm glad she just got on here, because I really didn't like talking about helping my sister figure out how to have sex. I really didn't like that. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. I thank you so much. Make sure you share me on your pages. Just share my live. And I'm praying for us. We still need prayers. Prayer works, and I think it's helping. I think, you know, we may get back to the way things almost were soon. And yeah. I think prayer is working, okay? So enjoy the rest of your night. Bye for now.